Saturday night, 8 p.m, beautiful downtown Bramall Lane. Sheffield United against Brighton and Hove Albion. The Blades, already relegated from the Premier League, set to play their first ever game, having already been relegated in the English top division since it became the Premier League. The week has been dominated by the clubs trying to get away. 6 clubs trying to break away to form this European Super League. All about the money. Absolute disgrace. Just follow the Blades. 32 games we've got out of this league. That's how you do it. Slightly tongue-in-cheek, as you know. But, yeah. Changes for the Blades. Jayden Bogle. Good to see him back in the side at the expense of Ethan Ampadu. Is that a look forward to next season? Is Ethan not going to be at Bramall Lane next year? Very much doubt it. So it made sense. Ryan Brewster desperate for a goal, giving some game time up top with Didsey. Didsey the man to lead the line again. So how was the game going to settle down? Well, first 2-3 minutes, as it seems to be every week, the Blades on top, looking to get forward. And was it going to settle into the usual pattern of, after 5 minutes of decent play, it's just all on the back foot? Well, after 12 minutes, Neil Maupay got forward. Rammers making a really good save to keep the Blades on parity at 0-0. And then, a shock. A goal. David McGoldrick, absolutely superb. Tucked it away nicely. He got forward very, very well, held it, and it was a cool head to finish it. 19 minutes, Sheffield United 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. This was a shock. What was going to happen? We were having more possession. We were playing some good football. The pressure really was off for the Blades. The half was dominated by the Blades. It looked like that we were going to be comfortably in the game. We're going to have a chance of actually winning another game, just a 5th game this season. I just thought, what's going on? Was I seeing things? I mean, I'd had an afternoon playing cricket. I got a duck playing cricket and been battered and bruised. But to come back and watch the Blades, the choice of TV viewing, Paddy McGuinness with that terrible, terrible show of guessing some sort of singer. You've got Vernon Kay guessing what people's jobs are. Why wouldn't you be watching Sheffield United against Brighton and Hove Albion, listening to commentary from Hal and Nick? That is the only way to spend your Saturday evenings. Anyway, first half came to a close. Sheffield United 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Could we hold on for our 5th 3 points of the season? Let's find out.
Straight from the kickoff, not really sure what we were doing. We lost the ball straight away. Brighton came forward, and luckily it was a tame effort wide. But they certainly looked the more likely to get a goal in this second half, not going to lie. We were very poor in possession. A lot of good work rate, to be fair. It was a backs against the wall kind of performance. So we've got to give credit for that. But in possession, we weren't good enough, guys. And we do need to improve on our possession play. And I know that will come with confidence, which hopefully we'll get more of. Maupay had a effort pushed wide, I think, after the first 5 or so minutes. Good save from Ramsdale. Again, he had several good saves in this second half, in my opinion. He's one to look forward to within the next couple of years. Fingers crossed we don't offload him in the summer. He's been very good in this second half of the season and is only going to improve, so that's good news for us. On 10 minutes, we got let off big time. They had a goal disallowed for offside, but it was a poor goal again, guys. I don't know how many times we say it every week. There seems to be some sort of situation, but it was a corner, came in. I think it got maybe one touch, fell to their guy. He was actually faced away from goal, turned round and kind of poked it goalwards. It wasn't a fantastic connection, certainly wasn't a good goal, and he had no pressure on him at all. None of our players decided to go towards him. Ender Stevens especially, he really needs to react better to that. He had the run on him. So we certainly got off on one there, guys. And yeah, it was kind of a pattern appearing, really. We got the ball, we got upfield, didn't really know what to do with it. Brighton broke a lot. They were attacking, we weren't really. It was certainly backs against the wall, like I said. So we've got to give credit for that. The defence did well for the majority of the second half. A lot of bodies on the line. Midfield tried the best, but we couldn't really build much. McGoldrick had an effort, I think it was 70 minutes, which was easily stopped. But apart from that, nothing much. But we still came away with the 3 points, and we have not been able to say that much this season at all. And fingers crossed, guys, this can give us a bit more confidence, a bit more positivity, and hopefully we can get a couple of more results like this, because clean sheet is a big one. winning a game is a big one, and just fingers crossed we can get a bit of positivity and a bit of momentum going into next season. Up the Blades.
All right, Blades, let's go through the player ratings, the most controversial and contentious point of the whole video. Remember, if you disagree with a single rating and you put it in the comments, you are officially nominating yourself to do the ratings for the rest of the season. I'll start with Aaron Ramsdale. Far from an Aaron Rams fail or an Aaron Rams flail. Strong hands, good in all departments, just looked comfortable, really good saves throughout the game. I wouldn't say kept us in it, because the defending, backs to the wall, grinding out that win, was a team effort. But Aaron was good, as he has been throughout the end of the season. That sort of third quarter of the season, he's been amazing. He gets a 7. George Baldock, gorgeous George, I'm giving him a 7. Really solid, playing out of position. Only one occasion I can remember where he sort of was arguing with his defence and he may have lost his man in Welbeck, but it's hard to know who he was defending against, because when you've got 3 against 2, who's marking who? Was it zonal marking? Welbeck missed as it was anyway. But I like George Baldock and he always gives 100%, and he did again. John Egan, reliable John Egan, just calm, cool and collected. The standard that you expect from John Egan, 7. Ho, 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 Keane Brian. Not sure if he'll be at Bramall Lane next season. I rather hope he is. I think that the Championship will be a level that he's comfortable at. I personally prefer him playing left wing back, but he did okay in centre back. He is not the best of our options there, that's for sure, but he's a good player, and again, he tries really hard, and you've got to say that's all we as Blades fans ask for. 6.5. Bogle, just great to see him back in the side. So good going forward. He gets a 7. Finds himself in positions that you don't always expect to see him in. Wasn't quite as adventurous in this game, but certainly a steady Eddie. Norwood, we've seen the Ollie Norwood of old in the past few games. Not quite so much of the ping, but the reason for that today, or yesterday, or 5 days ago, depending on when you're watching this, was that he didn't really have the outlet options because it was very bunched up in midfield. We even saw a rare Ollie Norwood running with the ball as he took it over halfway in the first half. I'm giving him a 7, nice and comfortable. John Fleck, he was everywhere, put himself about, really played well. I'm giving him an 8, strong in the tackle, didn't get forward as much, but did a lot of the defensive work, the uglier side of the game. He did it well. Ender Stevens, thought he played very well against Wolves, and he wasn't as good in that game, but he was good. 6.5. Ben Osborne, I've got so much time for Ben Osborne. He's industrious. He's everywhere. He was playing as a right-sided striker, it seemed, in times. And he was also getting back and defending. I'm not surprised he was substituted because he must have been exhausted. He seems to cover every blade of grass, and he is going to be absolutely indispensable in the Championship. 8.5. Rhian Brewster tries so hard. Just keeps on giving and giving and giving. Good shot from range, track back, strong as well. Arguably set up the goal. I don't think he got the final touch, but if it wasn't for his industrious busyness, that goal never would have happened. He gets a 7. David McGoldrick, the goal scorer, very busy as usual. David always is. Didsy was playing that role that was sometimes even deeper than Ben Osborne. He gets an 8. Really worked hard. Played so well. Could easily have been man of the match, but I have just given it to Ben Osborne. Just shaded it, but both of them were really good. Substitutions, Ollie Burke. Didn't really get enough opportunity to see what he can do, but everything he did okay. There was only one moment when I thought, oh, that was the wrong pass. We'll give him a 6. John Lundstrom, again, not really enough of the ball that he saw. He was on long enough to affect the game, but we didn't really see him get too much of the ball. What he did do, he did fine, and got his foot in when he needed to. Shielded the ball a couple of times. We'll give him a safe 6. And Heckingbottom, Paul Heckingbottom, I don't normally give manager/head coach ratings, but he gets his first win in the Premier League, and that deserves special praise. So, Hecky, you can have an 8.
Ladies and gentlemen, positives and negatives from today. We won. That's it. No, it was I was about to say a great game. It's a great game because we won. It was not necessarily the best performance that we've had all season, but for once this season, we won a game where we didn't perform well and we didn't play at our very best. first half, I thought we really started off well. A lot of positives going forward. Didsey had an amazing game. I think Ben Osborne in the first half was spectacular, running literally everywhere, being involved in every single build-up play that we had. I thought that was really top. Brewster looked really good, had a lot of good link-up as well with Didsey and Osborne and Bogle. Unfortunate for him, he didn't really get a good look at goal, other than I think one shot that went right into a defender. But overall, our attack was doing well. Stevens coming up the left side. You had Bogle attacking down the right side. Just really good attack in the first half. And we got a goal out of it, and that was great. It was a little garbage goal, a little bounce around, but the build-up from Osborne, that cross into the box, when you get crosses like that of that good quality, good things are going to happen, and I loved that. That's a huge positive for me today. On the negative side, I basically just look at the second half. It wasn't great. We got the job done, but that standard of defending, we let Brighton have over 70% of the ball. Really didn't do much with the ball when we did have it as well. You could tell we were getting tired by the end. It was enough to get the job done. Ramsdale had a lot of really good saves. We definitely got a little lucky with the offside call on that one goal from the corner. So overall, it's just nice to win a game. It's nice to win a game that we weren't playing well in. And I'm excited that we have a good crop of players, and if we can get more performances like this, the rest of the games this season, move on to next season in the championship, I think we have all the right tools to bounce right back up. And it's performances like these that we're going to need these last couple weeks. So let's turn it over to Steve and see where we can go from here.
Hey, a Blades victory. A nice 1-0 palate cleanser that should hopefully get the taste of relegation out of our mouth. At least for this week. So where do we go from here? Well, let's be honest. I could have recorded this video 24 hours ago, because where do we go from here is not impacted whatsoever by the events of the previous 90 minutes, as enjoyable as they were. But I think we can look at some of the individual performers as far as who do we want to keep for next season. So Ben Osborne, great game from him. Aaron Ramsdale, some inspired saves. John Fleck, Jadon Bogle. Maybe not his best performance in the red and white, but somebody I'm really looking forward to seeing in the championship next season. And as somebody, listen, I'll willingly raise my hand and say that I am worried about the advancing ages of Billy Sharp and David McGoldrick. But if we get the Didsey from today in the championship next season, pair him up with Brewster, who I'm still convinced / hoping is going to come good, that's a good jumping off point for next season. But where do we go from here? We are in pole position, which seems funny to say because in a season where we've been dead last at everything, we're actually in pole position because we know we're relegated and we've already sacked our manager or parted by mutual consent. That means we have our pick of managerial candidates. I mean, I don't think Mourinho's walking into Shirecliffe next week, but you get my point, because there's going to be 2 more teams relegated. Managers are going to leave their clubs one way or another at the end of the season. Don't wait. Don't wait for this to happen and then have to fight in a bidding war for somebody else who wants your manager. If you know who it is, go get him. On the same note, figure out who we're keeping. Who's staying, who's going. Who are we willing to at least listen to bids on? Who are we not willing at all and are going to say, if you want this person, you're going to have to pay well over the odds for him. And again, you don't have to tell the fans that, but you make sure you know so that your off-season can be as clean as it can be. Identify your targets. Get the manager in so you know he agrees with the targets, and go get him. We've got a lot of decisions still to be made. There's a lot of uncertainty still hanging around Bramall Lane, and the faster these things happen, the better chance we have of kicking off to a successful championship campaign. You think about Norwich, you think about Watford. Norwich back up to the Premier League, Watford back up to the Premier League. Norwich's top 3 goal and assist contributors this season, Pukki, Buendia, Campbell. All 3 players that were with Norwich last season in the Premier League. So we have to figure out some form of consistency going forward and keeping some of these key players, if not most of them, and figure it out now. So listen, you've heard us all give our opinions on where do we go from here, but drop a comment right below here. Who do you want as the next manager? Who do you think's going to be the next manager? Who do you want to stay? Who do you think's going to stay? And who do you think's going to go? Let's see if we can look into our crystal balls and figure out what's happening as we gear up for hopefully a promotion campaign. In other news, Middlesbrough 3, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Up the Blades.